welcome back to another episode from the BIBA Conference 2022 held in Manchester. Now, it's been said many times in the world of insurance that innovation is nothing without distribution. And as every broker knows, you need people like MGAs, Managing General Agents. What do they do? How can they help? We decided to find out more by speaking to Danny Maleary, CEO at Pro MGA Global Solutions.
Good.
So, Danny, Pro Global, what's the last year been like, and what's it like now for brokers who can unlock data insights from their policy book?
So, I mean, interesting question. So let me just touch on the last year. So obviously, sort of post-pandemic, as we're coming out of the pandemic, I suppose the landscape from my perspective and my world is specifically around the world of the managing general agent and also the UK regional broker. Has been one really of understanding, what does going back to work, one, mean, two, really what is the insurer risk appetite, and ultimately the customer's desire in terms of purchasing of insurances. So a lot of challenges, finding our own feet, and great to be here at BIBA today and see the buzz that's going around and the atmosphere. It's very much sought after. From a core perspective, data is key. So understanding the data that regional brokers are obtaining from their customer base, their clients, and really utilising that to work with their insurer partner, in theory in partnership, in understanding that data, to better utilise it, to tailor both product, ultimately then reflects on pricing, but product primarily to really deliver to the UK regional brokers client what they're looking for. Now, whether that's just a single proposition or a packaged proposition that in theory creates for them an ecosystem of their own world, their own businesses, is something that I'm seeing more and more of over the last 6 months as we've come out of pandemic, and the importance of utilising that information in such a way that adds some value. I think there's still an air of misalignment between insurer and UK regional broker, because I think the UK regional broker needs to really understand what the insurer is looking for, but the more that becomes aligned, then I think the more the UK regional broker will better interpret the data that they already have, and then to utilise it to add more value to their customer. Seeing a lot of that talk at the moment, a lot of that engagement, which is again quite exciting. Technology being at the core of it all.
So the thing is, a broker can spot an opportunity, but it's knowing which insurers have got those components in place to underwrite it so they can build that product, and it really, it's got to resonate with the consumer from the broker's point of view.
It has.
They want something that's got that marketing appeal, and it's got to have the backup, the reassurance behind it. Yeah,
and sometimes that's a challenge. So networking events like what we've got here today, and a better understanding of risk appetite from an insurer perspective, and good communication and articulation of what they're looking for from the UK regional broker marketplace. And then likewise the UK regional broker, as they do, obviously understanding their clients' desires and needs, and then marrying the two up. We're seeing a lot of initiatives now around making that more simplified and more simplistic in terms of being able to build a packaged insurance product suite for the UK regional broker to give to their clients. So seeing a lot of that. A lot of it's obviously going to be now online. I think, sadly, it took the pandemic for all of us to probably realise how important technology is, and actually what the art of the possible is of using technology. So I think that will start to really come to the fore as well, to help the UK regional broker be nimble and flexible, typically like an MGA would be in terms of developing those products for their customers. So getting a lot more of that. There's some challenges there, there's some hurdles still to overcome. Patience is probably still needed on both parts, insurer and also UK regional broker, but there is a desire, and I think if you've got that desire, that alignment of interest, then I think it will start to slowly but surely get to a point where things will become a lot more simple.
Because that's the thing, it's easy to forget that Britain it is these four nations, and it's also these regionals.
It is.
And I mean, one example I can think of is when I've worked the Bewley show, the classic bike shows down there. There's a real cluster of classic ownership there. There's people that have got fleets of bikes, restoration projects, classic cars. So it's a really strong thing in that sort of south coast area. And then of course you've got things like agricultural brokers in Northern Ireland or Scotland or Wales, and people within that sector who are not just farming in a traditional way, but they've got yurts, alpacas, they're doing a sort of green experience. So all that stuff needs covered, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And then the entrepreneurialism of the UK regional broker to identify those opportunities to create that ecosystem to organically grow their own business needs like-minded insurer or a method for like-minded insurer to be able to plug into that to be as entrepreneurial, and again that's where I feel technology will help to simplify that approach, and ultimately we'll see, as we've seen here today, a lot of insurers start to embrace technology to the degree that it needs to be embraced, but again some of them are very large, so take a bit of time to turn, and it's going to be interesting to see how they cope with that. The managing general agent, the MGA, therefore, is finding a niche role itself in between the UK regional broker and the insurer to deliver to the UK regional broker what they're looking for to make them innovation or entrepreneurial to their local customer. And that's what we're finding quite a lot of, which is again quite exciting. Not to say that the insurer is not trying to get there, but the nimble MGA is a little bit more, a bit quicker.
It's gone way beyond the old days of just being a sort of conduit to a panel, hasn't it?
It has, no, very much so, and I think, and that's exciting because it gives a little bit of uniqueness around some of the things that we're seeing now. And what I like about it is that we're not just carte blanche and this is it and move on. It's not a square peg in a round hole anymore. Actually, it's tailored. It needs to be relatively fluid to meet the needs of ultimately the customer. The UK regional broker is the best place entity to be able to really articulate that to the insurer to ensure that those products are suitable for purchase. The MGA plays that role of almost translating the desires of the UK regional broker market to ultimately the insurer, whoever that might well be. So that ecosystem is starting to really take shape. But again, some challenges there still, but we're getting to where we need to be, which is again quite exciting.
Well, I mean, I've spoken in the last year or so to a couple of brokers. I mean, one of them is like purely online to the extent where the startup doesn't even have an office. Are you seeing more of these types of modern, sort of purely online brokerages?
Yeah, very, very much so. Online brokerages and really, I suppose, want for a better way of describing them, account managers that go around and just relationship manage the customer. The majority of the heavy lifting done of the actual purchasing is online, the policy issuance is online, a bit of troubleshooting, but really their role is to go around and you as the customer to make sure you're getting what you want to do. Sit with you, understand you, what's your vision, what can we do to help you get to realise your vision from an insurance's perspective. So I think the world's changing generally in that regard, but very exciting to be honest with you.